The Geek Files, 2026, March 7th. TPA stories, fall of 88, spring of 92. So in Wrangell, the airport had its terminal, and then there was one other building. The expediter, freight forwarder, had an office in there, and Transprovincial had a small office in there. There's a bathroom, and I think there might have been a storage area with a garage door. But it was a small building. And once again, we're talking about before cell phones, before the internet, before GPS, just before GPS. And man, sooner or later I'll remember these guys' names. But the ops manager decided he wanted a push button phone, even though like push button phones were kind of the new thing. And basically, it was the buttons sent a rotary dial tone down the phone line. Like it wasn't like a push button phone. And this thing was a piece of crap. It was just hard to hear, hard to talk. It was just like the cheapest piece of crap you could buy because that's how TPA rolled. If it didn't matter to the chief pilot or the ops manager, it didn't matter to anybody else. So Southeast Alaska survives on two things: fishing and logging. And when the salmon are running, because what people don't realize is the salmon come out of their rivers and streams, hit the Pacific Ocean, go north up the coast around the Bering Sea, and then disperse into the ocean. And then they all come back the same way. So the salmon that are going up the Columbia come down through Southeast Alaska. So the salmon fishing commercial salmon fishing is crazy lucrative. So when and they can run up purse seine nets and just drag this thing out around the school with a small boat, close it up. But getting that many fish into one area attracts seals. And the seals will just go over the top of the net and just start munching down and they'll take a bite out of this one, a bite out of that one, a bite out of this one, a bite out of that one. Usually going for the bellies because the bellies are full of eggs and really rich in fat and protein. I just really create havoc. So at that time, there's these things called seal bombs, and they're 1/8 of a stick of dynamite. And you would light these things and throw them in the water and they explode and send the seals away. Well, I got so pissed off at this phone. Somehow I managed to get a hold of 2 seal bombs. And we stuck them into the phone. I stuck them into the phone. And then out in the northwest corner, there's a whole bunch of storage containers to store the bonded goods. And the customs guy wasn't there. We checked on that because it was a busiest airport, so they had a permanent customs person there to check the bonded goods. And Jenny was nuts. I mean, yeah. She was demanding that every box be open, even though they're in bond, until the freight forwarder, the expediter, called her boss, and her boss said, they're in bond. You don't need to do that. Stop it. You're holding things up. Anyway, so we drag it out there and light this thing off and stand back, and those 2 seal bombs scattered that phone into a crowd. And we were just laughing. laughing our asses off. We really didn't care if there was a phone or not. I mean, so anyway, we just left it like that. And eventually the chief pilot, the operations officer, came up, and I'm not sure, we just told them that the phone had died. And maybe they had found out that we blew it up. I'm not too sure. But they decided to punish us by sending up a rotary dial phone. You know, the chick, 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 which made no difference to us because barely did we use the phone. I think, we used the phone to order lunch. So that was all fine and good until, I remember this, the ops manager came up and had to call, I was sitting in the office, and he had to call Prince Rupert or Terrace for some reason. And it was chick, 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 chick. And he got so fucking mad that he unplugged the phone, threw it in the garbage, went down and got a proper good phone. And we finally got a proper good phone. Yeah, but watching him just, as this dial went around, chick, 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 chick. Yeah. But scattering that phone into bits, man, I was just so fed up with it. The buttons were sticky. The cord was one of those things that coiled on itself, was constantly coiled. Oh, yeah. So when we made it a crowd, everybody laughed. Yeah. So making appropriate life decisions, you don't make any money, but you get good stories.